like a little flame, and we're going to slowly add little fuel, a little bit of air at a time, and grow it as we go, instead of imagining it's some finish line. It's not something that we're going to achieve at one point and then we're going to feel good. The great part about this is that we can let go of the need to predict the future. We can come back to now, and we can develop a skill. It's a skill to be able to tap into what really matters and what really works. And come the future, when the future becomes the now, you're going to be a badass at this. You're going to be able to, you'll have this ability to hone in on any given situation, whether it's the food you want to eat, the clothes you want to wear, the activity you want to do that day. You'll be able to tune into what's going to bring more passion, peace, love, and freedom to you. So the path is going to change, but your commitment is to these experiences, and that doesn't change. We're going to run into big problems, or I should say we run into big problems when we let go of the experiences and we make it about the thing. That's how we get trapped in lousy marriages. That's how we get trapped in lousy careers or lousy situations, where we commit to the thing or the idea or the vision instead of the experiences we most want to have. If we stay in touch with those experiences, we can let them guide us along the way. We're not going to know quite sure where they're going to lead us, but that's where we'll always be in touch with those experiences. We'll always be cultivating, always be creating this. And so it's critical. You can't abandon your awareness of these experiences. As I'm talking about this, I'm remembering Steve Jobs. He gave that talk at, I think it was the Stanford commencement. He talks about looking in the rearview mirror, and you can't ever imagine that you could see where all these dots are going to line up, but when you look in the rearview mirror, you see how they all connect together. This is what he's talking about. All right, moving on. Number 2, sucking it up makes you weak. Here's the myth: I'm too busy. I can't take the time or the energy to do the things that really feed me physically, energetically, emotionally, or spiritually. I just got to suck it up and keep going. This is actually kind of noble in our culture. This is more of that finish line mentality. It's saying, once I've done enough, then I'll be able to enjoy myself, to recover, to do what feeds me. And we think that if we take a break, our performance will suffer. And if our performance suffers, we're at risk of losing our job or whatever the thing is. And so this is a fear-based mentality. The cost here is we live in a perpetual state of self-deprivation. And if we're depriving ourselves, we're therefore bringing a subpar version of ourselves to our work, our relationships, and our life. But the reality is, when we bring a subpar version of ourselves to the world, it means our performance is also going to suffer too. So let's come back to those main experiences. What are the practices, the fundamentals that actually feed you? What has you feeling more passionate, more peace of mind, more freedom, more love and connection? It's time to put those things first. Think of it this way. If you had to do 500 perfect foot push-ups, and for every lousy push-up it was going to cost you $50, what would you do? Would you try to bang them all out? No, you'd be broke. You'd slow down. You'd take breaks. You'd take your time. You'd recover. You'd pay attention to your form, and you'd stay focused. So let's bring that kind of mentality to everything else that we're doing here. The bottom line is, if you're committed to doing your best in anything, then do whatever it takes, including the things that have you rest and recover and rejuvenate, so that you can bring your best self to the world. Sucking it up and depriving yourself is actually a form of weakness. It's a scarcity mentality. All right. Number 3, here we go. Choosing high intensity and urgency makes you prey, as in P-R-E-Y, as in a prey animal. And what I mean by, well, let's start with the myth, okay? To do my best work, I've got to be operating at a high level of intensity. If I stop pushing, I'm going to fall behind. I have to be constantly striving and moving forward. I have to be constantly productive. I'll find peace of mind once I get all this stuff done. Many of us are addicted to operating at a frantic state of mind, or a frantic frequency. We think it makes us better. We think it communicates that we care. And maybe urgency makes us feel like our life is important. The belief here is that acting in a frantic way is best.